Watching a pro player run through a lobby and drop a 20 bomb like it's nothing is always very fun to do, and there's lots to be learned. However, they're mostly just killing bad players or players that are brand new to comp in low elo. So what happens when a pro player is keying in a much harder lobby like the brand new solo cash cup finals and they go up against another pro player with thousands of dollars of earnings? That's what I'm going to be breaking down in this video. I'm going to be exclusive looking at 7 pro fights where they're taking on another pro player who is either better or they have equal earnings. I'm going to be figuring out what mistakes they made as well as what plays they did to come out on top. If you're somebody that's looking to get way better at fighting, this video is absolutely perfect for you because we're only be looking at the best of the best players and some top level fights. So let's go straight into it. All right, so our very first fight, this is from Solo Cash Cup Opens, is Booger versus Peterbot. I mean, this is actually just an insane matchup for solo fighting. These guys are both obviously really good. However, Booger right here gets hit low at the start of the fight to begin with. So watch what he does. He actually does a bunch of things really nicely at the very start that would catch any normal type of player off. First thing he does is baits out the big pot. As you can see, he's just holding out the big pot. He's not even popping it to waste it. Instead, he's just holding it out. And he also very smartly, as Peterbot gets in his wall right here with his pickaxe out, he places his own cone to prevent Peterbot from sliding in a cone underneath. He places his own cone while he's holding out the big pot. Then, of course, Peterbot, expecting Booger to be popping that big pot, goes ahead and smacks on the wall. But Booger's not able to get the insta edit off, isn't able to get a shot off in return because Peterbot's just a little bit too quick. Then this is where actually Booger plays the fight pretty well, I would say. He's forced to actually pop in the big pot. He does a nice play, which is just holding it as long as possible, especially on metal. It takes 2 swings for somebody to break like a partially built metal wall. So he commits to it as long as possible, immediately gets out the box and goes down, and doesn't give up any more damage, which is really important, and makes even more space, and then it instantly looks for counter peaks. And this is one thing that Peterbot is extremely good at, is not giving up counter peaks when he's getting on a wall. As you can see, it's very hard for Booger to get any shots in return, and also Peterbot's fight has already popped 2 fish, which is kind of insanely strong. Now it's all over to Peterbot's perspective to watch the rest of this fight, as you can see. First thing that he does is he's pressuring multiple angles. He's already smacked on the floor over here. He's pre-built all of this side and smacked on the wall. Now he's going to go ahead and smack on this wall. And as soon as he spots that Booger's not reacting and editing, which is kind of what Peterbot's whole playstyle is, just forcing out reactions, look what he does. He goes ahead, retakes height, makes it super awkward for Booger to go anywhere here. And now, even though Booger's done a very good job of making space, he's basically forced back into this single box right here, which is where the fight's going to finish up. Now, Booger goes ahead and commits to a big pot, which probably isn't the best play considering he's only in a single box. However, he does catch a very nice timing swing where Peterbot's got his pickaxe out and is able to get a little bit more damage into return. However, this is when he makes a mistake. He takes his eyes off Peterbot and Peterbot instantly takes that top, as you can see, holds the edit, hits him down to low HP. And now, even though Peterbot's low HP, a lot of players here wouldn't aggress because they can get one pumped. Peterbot is, of course, going to go ahead and use all of this edit control that he had earlier, that he established, and he's going to go ahead and get a spray through and take out Booger right there. One of the biggest reasons why it's almost impossible to fight Peterbot, even if you're a really good player like Booger obviously is the fact that he basically just never gives you an opportunity to get damage in return. And also this fight, to Booger's credit, he had 2 shield fish that he burnt through at the start of the fight, which is really strong. If you have shield fish or floppers in the fight, you can literally get hit for like 180 and then get back to full before the opponent has even been able to pop a big pot. All right, this next fight is actually a really good example for you guys of Death versus Victory. Victory's absolutely nuts, and it's Death right here on the controller, who gets kind of shit on at the very start, as you can see, gets pieced up a little bit, gets caught off guard, gets hit for low HP, and now he makes the final mistake of sitting like a single wood box trying to heal up. And of course, he's going to go down as he reboxes right there. Victor absolutely outplayed him. Within the fight starting, like 10 seconds, he's basically been insta-killed. So now let's go back and watch it from Victor's perspective, because he did a lot of things correct to end the fight quick. First thing he's doing is just trying to lurk, get opening damage. He's not able to find it, but it's still a really good idea to lurk and always try to get damage in a fight. Then he starts double editing up, and this is really important whenever you're going from below on somebody, guys, like you're editing up towards them, you're field fighting, whatever, so likely that they're going to get the double edit. So you need to learn this skill, which is first of all having good crosshair placement, like his crosshairs on the opponent right here. So even though he's not able to get the shot, he gets the high wall. Then very smartly, he knows that opponent, because he blocked him off the high wall, is going to try to right hand peek him, swing over here to the right, and all he does, block off the shot. As you can see, blocks the shot right there and edits straight away after the shot, and this allows him to get static damage, and he gets the high cone as well. So now he's basically got full control, even though he's below, just from that one high wall and that one little bit of counter damage. Gets a low damage right there, and now the final way that he ends the fight is actually really smart. This is one thing a lot of people don't do correctly in fights, is they just approach from one angle and they start smacking their pickaxe or shooting the wall or whatever, and the opponent just reboxes the other way. And this is how Victor actually uses this against the opponent right here. He approaches from the top, so spray baits it a little bit, like making the guy think he's going to get his top worried about. Then he approaches from this direction, and if you can imagine Death in the box right here, he's seeing these footsteps all over his top, and now he finally sprints over, gets on the wall right here, Death edits straight out into him, and he's able to get a very free kill. And that's not luck, the opponent editing straight into you, that is because he gets approached from so many angles, the top, the side, and then swaps to the side again, and that's how he's able to get the kill right there. and get himself absolutely stacked in this key game. If you guys are serious about comp and you want to get better during 2025, then go check out the Masterclass Christmas sale. You can get the fighting Masterclass that we just dropped for 25% off with code Christmas, or you can go ahead and get the Masterclass Christmas bundle for an absolutely insane discount, as well as you're going to get the fighting Masterclass, the solos Masterclass, and the brand new trios Masterclass, and a full trios bootcamp for next year, included when you sign up. It's an absolute crazy deal, so make sure to go check it out. Ends on Christmas Day though. Alright, this next pro versus pro fight is a really good one. We've got Epic Whale, the 6 times FNCS winner, up against one of the best fighters in the game, and he actually does a really nice play right here, which is he TPs over when he's got the edits on the shrine, and he catches the other player completely off guard. However, unfortunately, the player that he's up against right here, who he hits 100, is Man City Cold, who obviously is going to be very hard to kill. And also, Cold's primary strategy is he lands over at boxcars, and then he just insta-fishes up 6 shield fish. So right here, even though he's been hit 100 and something at the start of the fight, he has the ability to get back up to full very, very quickly, which is what he does. Then Epic Whale hops on his wall, and I would say Epic Whale makes 2 major mistakes during this fight. The first one is he doesn't get the timing correct to shoot this wall and then break it with 1 pickaxe swing, so he's left double swinging, which is very easy for Cold. All he does is, you know, make space backwards and get out the box and sort of disengage. And the next mistake that Epic Whale makes, and this is a really, really common one that I see people doing the whole time, and I'm not hating on Epic Whale when I say this, but they edit course into setup. So you can see, look what he's doing. He's edit coursing and building and not looking at his opponent, which is really, really big. So Cold, all he does is just do a wide open edit, and he's going to go ahead and tag Epic Whale 100 right here. Then Cold has a couple more nice plays, which is he first of all, he looks straight down to try holding this day right here. A lot of players don't do this. They just try running out the box, and that's how they get dropped down. Well, Epic is 0, so he's able to grab it. I mean, both these guys are 0, but either way. And then the fight comes down to this situation. Epic gets the high wall, so nice stuff by him. And he goes and does this right hand window, but Cold knows the mechanics of this window. It's a very, very awkward shot to hit on somebody in this situation. And also Epic has to reload a shotgun, which is a lot of people suck at reload management of shotguns this season. So he has to reload. He can't line up the max on Cold. And all Cold does is crouch forward and spray in and sort of catches Epic completely off guard and takes him out. This fight basically came down to Cold having fish, which is obviously super strong during fights to get yourself back up to full. Epic Whale making 1 or 2 small mistakes, like just edit coursing onto a setup, got him hit to low HP, and then Cold just commits to the Angel because he knew he had the HP advantage after that shot on return. This next fight is a really good example from Kanada versus G-Money with a very common mistake that I see people making, and even Kanada, who's absolutely primed up at the moment, is still making this mistake, which is not making space correctly. First thing he's done wrong is he's not made space instantly at the start of this fight, as you can see, like he should have already made space. And the next thing he does is he doesn't grab the top straight away, especially when anybody good is pushing you. They're going to be trying to grab your tops and grab your, you know, floor and cone above your head. So you need to be placing that as quick as possible so you don't get punished straight away. As you can see, Kanada, he's building the walls and the bottom of his box first, and all G-Money's done, as you can see, is he's literally just grabbed the double at it, and he's just going to 50-50. You got a 60 tag, why would you not just 50-50 with that damage advantage? Exactly what he does, and he takes out Kanada right there, who was getting distracted a little bit by Peterbot. Such a common mistake that I see people making, like 0 earners up to some of the best players in the world make this mistake, is they don't grab their tops when they're building. Even in endgame, like when they're tarping, they'll be building the floors first, not the tops, which is actually a massive mistake as well. Our next fight is Vico versus Jody over on EU, and it's just very hard to find fights on EU, pro versus pros, because most of the pros know who they're going to be fighting before they actually fight, or they try to find the bad players only. So right here, Vico goes ahead and waits, and he trades, and he tries to get an opening crack onto Jody, which is what he does, and then he's going to go ahead and TP over and set up from above, as you can see. And this is where Vico actually makes a small mistake. Jody's the correct thing, gets most of his big pot off, and then goes ahead and does a crossbox peek, and Vico gets caught off, dropping down on the side right there, and Jody goes ahead and gets the crack. However, this is when Vico just absolutely outplays Jody right here, is he makes loads of space backwards, as you can see here, and he lets Jody into his space. So now Jody is basically full boxed, thinking that he's got the advantage because he's just got that crack, as you can see. And all Vico does really, really smartly is go ahead and angle swap. And this is what you guys need to do if you're fighting versus a good player. You can't just do like conventional, you know, wall-to-wall fights. You have to be angle swapping like here. So Jody's looking this way, expecting Vico to be over here. He's not footstep tracking, and Vico's able to get a free shot in from the side. And then now Jody is panicking. He's trying to get back, as you can see. And all Vico does is angle swap from the side, another right hand peek, and gets a very, very free kill right there. Generally, one of the best ways of fighting, especially if you're going to get somebody good, it's just by constantly maneuvering your angles around so they never really know where you're going to be coming from, and you're always doing cross box peeks as well. You're not just doing wall to wall where you're both standing on the same piece. Instead, you're doing it from multiple boxes away as you peek. All right, this next fight is actually a really good example from Clix versus Noxy. You guys don't know Noxy's a very solid player. He's a really good fighter as well. The first thing Clix does gets opening damage, and I will say Clix makes some couple mistakes here versus Noxy. The first one being, he probably should have shotgun replaced that, especially considering he's still got 3 bullets in his shotgun. Shotgun replace that's there just to prevent the opponent holding it if you break it with your AR. It takes a little bit too long. So instead, shotgun replace it, and he probably wouldn't be able to end the fight straight away. Next mistake is right here. He has an opportunity to get a load of exit control. Because an exit control is basically just pre-piecing out to the side so your opponent can't rebox that way. Like he places one cone over here, but he could easily place like a cone floor all around right here, just burn through some wood. He's going to get it back after, very easily through mid game. Burn through the wood to prevent the opponent reboxing. So of course the opponent right here, even though Clicks gets on the wall straight away, they're just going to rebox and go backwards as soon as he gets on right here, which is exactly what happens. So let's say Clicks did have that double head over there, he would now have a very easy kill on the opponent who's underneath their stair, or he would just force the opponent to making more mistakes because they're panicking. And then finally, this is how he ends the fight, is he just waits for the reaction. The other opponent's just been trying to heal up, he's been pressuring a lot, he puts himself in a bad spot. Whenever you put yourself in a bad spot, just crosshair track your opponent. They're going to do a 50-50 edit on you to try to get damage in return, and all Clicks does is listens to the double edit and goes ahead and pre-fires based on the footsteps. Really easy to do that. Literally just put your crosshair where the footsteps are and sort of guess where your opponent is going to be. It's very easy to do, and he gets a nice free kill there on Noxy. Alright, this next fight is Dollar, who does really good educational comp videos, as well. He plays a lot of solos and is very good at them. Versus, I'm going to let you guys try to guess who the pro is, just based on their fighting playstyle. Might be somewhat easy if you guys have been paying attention through this video. I want you to guess who the pro is that they're against, because Dollar right here, even though he's a very good player, gets absolutely shit on. So let's go ahead and recap what happens in this fight. First thing he does is he plays a little bit scared. You can see he turns his back instantly, which is never the best play. Probably should have built a 2x1 out of wood there and waited for his opponent to get on his wall, and starts running away. Next thing he does is he tries to go for this little timing shot, and then another little insta edit to try and catch the other player off guard. And of course, he's not able to get any damage off return, and he gets hit to low HP right here, 68 HP. Then the final sort of big mistake in this fight from Dollar is he spots that the opponent is getting on this wall, and he was able to grab it, and he goes for an instant edit without really looking where the opponent is. And all the opponent is doing right here is just standing with a pump out, as you guys can see, and he hits him down to 160, and then they're going to spray forward and get him low to AR. Now at this point, you guys should have figured out who this pro player is. I would say just based on how they're actually playing, how their play style is. But Dollar is left in a really, really difficult spot right here, where it's super tough for him to do anything. He's 13 HP, you can't really counter peek. And then finally he gets baited out right here. All the other player does is just stand, and they mess up his pre-fire. As you can see, it is Peterbot, the absolute beast at solo fighting. And that is genuinely why it's impossible to fight Peterbot, because you just make mistakes. Like, he just forces you into making mistakes, and then you go down, and that's how you lose the fight. It's not like you're doing, they're doing anything too crazy to you. They're just sort of standing on your wall, waiting for you to make mistakes, and then you just make those mistakes for them, and they take advantage of them.